Hey guys, so very exciting video. We have our first new phone in 2018, the Sony Xperia L2, and we're also going to do a comparison versus Sony Xperia L1. So taking a look at the outside of the box first, pretty normal for a Sony phone, actually almost identical to the Sony Xperia L1 box. Now this is pretty typical for Sony Xperia boxes. On the front we have Xperia L2, and once again on the side Xperia L2. And the bottom, and the other side, and a look at the specs here that we'll get to in a second. Alright guys, let's go and open it up. Now this is actually the first Sony Xperia L2 unboxing on YouTube, so actually I have no idea what's inside here. But this is a budget phone guys, it's about 250 bucks, so not expecting too much. Got our unboxing knife. Right on top we have the Sony Xperia L2. I'm going to get this in a second. So we have our user manuals and a power brick and the USB Type-C cable. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get to the part that you all care about, the phone itself. So we have Sony's new design language on this. It's called Loop Surface. And the back, as you guys see, it's not flat anymore. You have a bit of a curve to it. So for an entry-level phone, I think this is pretty comfortable, but obviously don't go expecting too much of this. So let's very quickly go over the specs, and then I'll do a brief comparison versus the L1, and we'll also do a comparison versus Sony Xperia XE Premium. So on the bottom we have USB Type-C, and on the side no camera button, but we do have a volume rocker and a power button. On the top we do have a headphone jack, which ironically that may be missing from the upcoming Sony Xperia flagship. Really hope not, but it looks like the XE Pro, the upcoming Sony Xperia flagship, may not have a headphone jack on it. And on the other side there's not much going on here. So we have a 5.5 inch screen, it is 720p. And you also have an 8 megapixel camera. On the back it's 13. And fingerprint scanner right here is enabled in the United States as well. So for an entry-level phone, it's pretty good to have a fingerprint scanner on it, even if it's on the back. The phone also has 32 GB internal storage and micro SD card support, MediaTek processor, 3 GB of RAM. And I think the most exciting about it is that it has a 3300 capacity battery on it. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and put my info and I'll be back in a second. So the fingerprint scanner on this is excellent. You sit about 30 times and no issues with it. A look at the OS. So again, this is Android 7.1.1 Nougat. Honestly guys, the Oreo update is not a huge update. But again, it will be coming later on for those of you guys who are anxious about it. So fortunately, not too much pre-installed bloatware on here. Let's quick look at that. Pre-installed apps. So obviously guys, this is the MediaTek processor. It's not a Snapdragon, so don't go expecting too much for it. But it should get the job done, I think, for a lot of basic tasks. And let's take a quick look at the camera UI. Okay, so again, this is a 13 megapixel camera. So not the fastest camera out there, but not too bad either. And taking a look at the video mode. So let's see if we have the 4K option here. I think it is supposed to have it. So never mind on that. I think I was thinking of the Sony Xperia XA2. Okay, so let's do a comparison now versus the L1. So on the left here I have the Sony Xperia L1, and on the right the Sony Xperia L2. And one of the first things you notice is that on the L2 you do have a fingerprint scanner on the back. On the L1, no fingerprint scanner on it. Both phones USB Type-C on the bottom. And on the top, both of them have a headphone jack. Aside from that, both of them are pretty similar in terms of size. I think the L2 is a tiny bit bigger, at least on the sides here, at least in terms of width. But I do think it's worth it because you have a much larger battery on the L2. Now we're going to power them up on, and I'll explain what's the same and what's different. Now, for what's the same, both these phones, 5.5-inch screens, 720p, and both of them have exactly the same MediaTek processor in them. But aside from that, it's mostly differences, a lot of upgrades here for the L2. So on the front, you have an 8-MP camera versus 5. On the back, both of them are 13, although it is a bit upgraded on the L2. Internal storage, you're going from 16 to 32. The battery, a massive upgrade, 3300 versus 2620. And you're also getting one additional gigabyte of RAM, 3 versus 2. And as you guys see, the L2 is a bit faster loading up. So one of the worst things about the L1 is the battery life, so it's great that that's upgraded. And wow, yeah, it's a lot faster when I have the camera app as well. During the next few days, we're doing a full comparison between both these phones, including speed test, camera test, speaker test, and a lot more. So next up, let's do a brief comparison versus Sony Xperia XE Premium. Now the XE Premium is of course a flagship phone and a lot more expensive than the L2. But something interesting is that both these phones are same screen size of 5.5 inches. But despite that, you guys see there are small bezels here on the L2. And really hoping for the Sony Xperia XE Pro that they do fix the bezels on it. In terms of width, the L2 is a tiny bit wider, but not a big difference there. And I will say the L2 is actually a lot more comfortable to hold because you do have this loop design on the back. So you have this curved design on the back versus the blocky look of the XE Premium. So let me know in the comment section below if you'd be interested in seeing a full comparison between both these phones. And also, I will be giving one of these away, the Sony Xperia XE Premium, once I hit 50k subs, so make sure to subscribe for that. So first thoughts, it seems like a pretty good phone for 250 bucks. But of course, you have lots and lots and lots of testing to do with it. So if you guys aren't already, please subscribe for more. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of